Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Big P here, the voice of hardcore boxing. I've got two of these hats here. Fight Academy. These are probably the best boxing hats I've ever had. It's Dennis's company, in it. I've got a couple of these. I'm going to give one of these away. So I want somebody to answer me this question. All right. What would you say is the hardest punch that Carl Froch has ever took? I know which it is because he told me personally, but or how can we rephrase it? Who's hit Carl Froch the hardest out of everybody who's clipped him? Don't forget he's been dropped twice, but who's hit him the hardest? You know, where his senses have been shook. All right. And I'm going to give a lucky person a Fight Academy hat, because we need to try and flag for Dennis in 2022. Because Dennis could be heading for Skid Row, couldn't he, this year? So, all right. Right. Let's get this book over here. This is the book here that I think everybody should go out and buy. Right. It's, that's what it's called. I've got to study this before I go to Germany in April. So I'm going to doing some filming out there. And but this book, everybody should get it. It should make all kids watch it. Read it. All school kids, like my kids. I said to my kids yesterday, I want you to read that. They've gone, where's my iPad? I want to go on Roblox. You know what I mean? So, right. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of boxing. It's a new year. I don't want to be like an airborne repeater, but I want to talk about Josh Warrington and Kiko Martinez. I don't know if it's out there. It probably is already befitting. I'm going to put it out there first. I'm not frightened to put it as an headline if I've got it wrong. The person that told me must have got it wrong, but I doubt it. It looks like Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington are going to fight in March. So I think that's good. I think that's good for Josh Warrington. He gets him back in mix. He's fighting somebody that he's already beaten. It's an hard fight for Warrington though, because Martinez will have his tail up at the moment, won't he? We're coming off a big win like that against Galahad. I know Josh Warrington beat Galahad by 2 rounds, in my opinion, but he didn't have it all his own way, Josh, did he? And I think Josh Warrington's maybe just got to the top of the hill now, and he's just coming down. Like Tyson Fury. I haven't seen much bounce in his legs in the last couple of fights. But that's how I look at it anyway. But Josh Warrington's had a great run. But when people talk to me about loyalty in boxing, I say, if you want loyalty, get a fucking dog. Cheers, Max, for that tub of whey. It's full fat, this. Trying to get some weight on me, aren't I? I'm hoping to get 11 pound on me so I can get to 12 stone. Just having problems keeping stuff down. We in a restaurant the other day with Mickey Theo in Epping Forest, and Mick's like, what are you ordering? I've gone up to order a slice of granary toast and a cup of tea with honey. Mick's like, you're not having an egg with that? I'm like, no, poached egg. I'm like, no. Mick's there with his granary, no butter, avocado and poached egg whites or something. He eats healthy, doesn't he? But no, I'm having problems keeping stuff down at the moment. But anyway, getting back to Warrington, I want to see Josh Warrington fight Martinez again, actually, because that first fight, you know, I don't know if I'm happy with the result on that first time they fought. Glad Josh won, but I think if they fight again, Warrington isn't as good as then. And I think Martinez, I'm not saying he's better, but I think he'll have a better chance this time. But Eddie's reneged on his deal anyway, Galahad. Eddie Hearn reneging on contracts. What's all that about? Right. What sort of person reneges on contracts? Well, Eddie was a stickler for contracts, wasn't you, Eddie? Hey, Mr. Contract Man, Eddie Hearn. Didn't Terry Harper have a rematch contract? She did, didn't she? Did Terry Harper have a rematch with that Boom Gardner that Eddie's just been and signed? You think Eddie cares for Terry Harper? No. All it shows now is that Terry Harper's not going to go near a puncher, but we knew that anyway, didn't we? But I don't want to hear belly aching stories from Terry Harper and Steffi Bull. Well, it's all Steffi Bull, isn't it, really? Because he runs social media, doesn't it? It's not Terry. Steffi, message to you. Terry Harper passed every check weight. Every single one, no red flags. So what are you coming out with all this? She's struggling at weight. She passed every check weight. Now, if you were starving her, like a greyhound, that's down to you, innit? That's down to you, mate. But you've got to take it on chin, haven't you? You mind passing book saying Ray Doyle's a trainer? Yeah, Ray Doyle is a trainer, but when she were winning, you wanted to be known as trainer, didn't you, on Sky TV and that? Swings and roundabouts, isn't it, Steffi? If you've got a problem with video, I tell you, like I tell anybody else, come and fucking see me. You know where my office is? Hard to find. But I don't want to hear bullshit excuses about weight issues. Oh my God. Should have rematched Natasha Jonas, shouldn't she? That will draw. This one's a plain old icing and lost your belt. You've got an opportunity to go get your WBC belt. Who in the right mind loses a WBC belt? Or who has ever lost a WBC belt by knockout, had a rematch and not gone after that person? Is that a champion's mentality? I say no. I say it's a coward's mentality. If you were on other foot, you'll be saying the coward, Steffi. So it's coward mentality. But she shouldn't have been in with that girl anyway. A long layoff and putting her in with a big banger. You know she can't handle a shot. But like I said, no flies on Eddie Hearn, is there? So he's been and signed her. Why don't they put Shannon Courtney in with Terry Harper? That'd be good, wouldn't it? It'd be like two birds outside Witherspoons, wouldn't it? On a Saturday night in Doncaster. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Should do that. Yeah, or Witherspoons at Mexborough. Mexico. You like that, wouldn't it? Friday night. Put Shannon Courtney in with Terry Harper. That'd be a good fight. The baby-faced assassin, aka Shirley from EastEnders, against Terry the Belter, who doesn't like getting belted. Get terrible, aren't I, mate? Let's have a look what else you've got on agenda. Luis Ortiz won, didn't he? 42-year-old, so they say. Knocked out Charlie Martin in a life and death. He's probably coming to end now. Who's to say Joshua might not want to, won't want to fight Luis Ortiz now instead of Usyk, because let's have it right. Anthony Joshua was up kicking and screaming to ring to fight Usyk, but now that he's going to fight him again, allegedly, he'll be took kicking and screaming to ring again. No trainer can help him now. The only thing that can help him is balls. Balls. My advice to Big Dosser Femi is simple. Grow a pair of balls, because them little pea-sized balls that you've got, they're no good. They're not going to get you through against Usyk, who is the man. He's got 4 of the 6 belts. Fury's got the other 2, Ring Magazine and WBC. Usyk's got the other 4 belts, so he's technically the man, isn't he? Well, he's beat Joshua, hasn't he? He cleaned up at undisputed, didn't he, at cruiser? He's just running through people, isn't he, Usyk? So all we're getting off Fury is delay and delay and delay. And beat an old man Vlad, and he fought that Wilder 3 times. The rest of it's just been delays, hasn't it? And just PR stunts and dressed as Batman and wrestling stuff and all the knackers, isn't it? Circus acts, isn't it now? Utter circus acts, but I want to see some fights. Let's see some fights. All these fighting men, they're not fighting, are they? Joshua, a big fighting man. And I'm about that life and all that he keeps saying, doesn't he? Listen, this is how I look at it, right? Anthony Joshua. He's a coward, isn't he? He's a coward, in my opinion. It's all very well strutting about, looking the business when you're fighting Pulev. But let's have it right. He's tiptoed around anybody else, hasn't he? We've not been near Wilder. Ortiz, peak Ortiz. That fought Fury, although I think Fury's to blame for that, isn't it? One of them's to blame, isn't it? We're never going to get to the bottom of it, are we? This is why it's just doing me head in. But I want to see Joshua fight somebody with a heartbeat if he don't fight Usyk. And I don't think they're going to fight Usyk. I think they'll look for an alternative. They'll try and tie people up in knots. They'll try and keep the belts in-house. I don't know how. But they'll be scratching their heads at match on me thinking, hey, we could be done here. And they could be. They could be out on their heroes. It's going to be interesting to see, but let's see how it goes. Dylan White, Fury. I covered this with Mad Max the other day, although I'd had a skinful, as you could see. So do I apologise for having a skinful on here? No. Did I get into trouble? Yeah. You know, they weren't very pleased up there, but what can I do? It's authentic, isn't it? What you see with me is what you get. You know, I can turn up in that office up there, professional, or I can sit here and get steaming. Christmas morning, I don't get steaming that much. But for something to be said, I'll say it. I won't bullying Max, all you people who are crying like, "Are you bullying Max?" Max is a good pal of mine. And he's up for a bit of banter, but he leaves his sim wide open, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? But it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, he's a good lad, Max. He's a good kid. If he has any problems, I'll back him up. Dylan White Fury, is it going to happen? Dylan White's the boy who cried wolf, isn't he, really? Well, he is, isn't he? Now he's saying he wants to fight Fury. Nobody believes him, do they? Well, not when they're asking for 10 million on downside. 10 million pound or dollars, it's roughly the same anyway, isn't it? 10 million on strength for what? He's not won a European, he's not fought for a world, he's not fought for a European either. Dylan White's not fought for a European title, but he's demanding 10 million on downside against Tyson Fury, who's the dominant heavyweight of his era, of the poorest era ever. It's the poorest era since the lost generation in the early 80s, you know, the Pinklon Thomas, Mike Weaver, you know, Tony Tucker, all them lot, Tim Witherspoon, the lost generation, James Bone Crusher Smith, you know, all them that held the belt for one and then won the belt and then lost it straight away. There were no dominant guy, well, there were only Larry Holmes. So that's how I look at it. But I don't think Dylan White is making up decisions for himself. I think people behind him are working with Eddie Hearn behind Dylan White's back. That's what I think. I think people have got Eddie Hearn's ear, but they're telling Dylan they've got his ear roll, because how is that business sense? Knocking back 5.5 million guaranteed to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world at Wembley against Joshua. You knock it back, and then Joshua gets beat by Ruiz. Who's looking out for Dylan White? And now, the same scenario. He's been offered the same money to fight Fury, but he's asking for nearly double. on the downside. So surely it's got to be Dylan White at fault here on it, but people behind him have got the people behind him and helping him, advising him, and typing letters up for him and blah blah blah. They've got to take some responsibility, haven't they? That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. But it is what it is, isn't it? So it's one of them things, isn't it? 2nd of January on a Sunday. I've got bank holiday Monday to get through tomorrow. I just want to get back to the office and get some graft on me. Getting bored to death. Climbing walls. So that's about it really. I hope you like the video. It's the opening video for the year. There's 2 videos out tomorrow. There's the one at Christmas, just before Christmas. I went to Essex. Mickey Theo video, that's out tomorrow. And the helmets of the year should be out tomorrow as well. Oh yeah, helmets at year's out tomorrow. Oh, that's good, isn't it? You'll all be impressed with helmets tomorrow. Oh yeah, I filmed it in Kent. It's being jazzed up now as we speak in Manchester. So, okie dokie. So peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep supporting boxing. Don't forget the question at the beginning of the video for this hat. All right, I've got a couple of these. I want to keep one for my son. I think I've got one over there. There's a trackie as well, but I'm going to keep it because it's all right. Okie dokie. Peace out. Turn off.